Welcome to Al Jazeera. At least one Afghan policeman has turned his gun on his US colleagues, killing 4 soldiers. It's the latest in a string of insider attacks in Afghanistan. It happened at a camp in southern Zabul province early on Sunday. An Afghan officer died in a shootout. 5 other police fled the scene. Let's talk to Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith. He's live for us in the Afghan capital, Kabul. Bernard, yet another of these insider attacks. What more do we know about this latest one?
Well, Darren, we understand it happened in the very early hours of this morning, about 1 o'clock in the morning, when an Afghan police officer turned his gun on members of the US Special Forces, we're told, who were based in a very small camp attached to some sort of police station down in a district of Zabul province down there in southern Afghanistan. 1 Afghan police officer was killed in return fire. 5 others fled. We don't know whether they fled because they were involved in the attack or they fled because they themselves were frightened of being killed. But it brings now to the number of NATO personnel killed this year by insider attacks. 51 have been killed by these sorts of attacks. They are extremely destabilizing, and NATO is finding it difficult to work out the best way of stopping them.
And Bernard, more details emerging now about that attack a few days ago on Camp Bastion. It's now been revealed 6 Harrier jets were destroyed.
Yes, this was what NATO itself describes as an attack by Taliban who were well equipped, well trained, and they were well rehearsed. It seems they managed to find a weak point, a blind spot, if you like, on a perimeter fence that runs around Camp Bastion, and they were able to use one of the suicide attackers, blew himself up to breach that fence, and then the rest of them flooded into Camp Bastion. It has to be said that this is a giant camp in the middle of the desert that is supposed to be, if not the securest, one of the most securest NATO bases in Afghanistan. And the fact that the Taliban were able to breach the defences of that base, then go on to kill 2 US Marines and destroy 6 Harrier fighter jets, 3 refueling stations, and damage 6 hangars, shows that from the Taliban's perspective, they wanted to be able to show that they can still attack NATO anywhere, even at its most secure bases, and they're able to demonstrate that they are able to do that, Darren.
All right, Bernard Smith there in Kabul. Bernard, thank you.